Are you guys? All right, guys. Are you guys ready to do a podcast?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
We're clean on this, so.
Tone would love to have me, but
we love to.
Whoa! You know what? And I'm gonna
You
double
suck.
down. You would love to have me too, ball.
Hey, yo, James, don't call him directly. He might cut you out. Call me first, and I'll translate.
Do you smell what the book is cooking?
Yeah, what I like to say is movement fails opportunity when opportunity fails to move.
Welcome back. We are back. Welcome to the show where we love, we laugh, we hug, we cry, we smile. Most importantly, we are positive. We are Gumball Sports Machine. And as always, I am joined by my co-host, my uncle, my dog, my OG, my brother, Tone. Sorry, that was a quick intro. I wanted to get to this game, man. 104-98. 3 minutes and 24 seconds left in the fourth quarter. SGA just got fouled. So he will be going to the line. To some people may say what is new, but Tone, let's react to this game so far. Obviously, it's still going. It's a close game, late in the fourth quarter here. What's been your takeaway so far from the game?
First, that it's been an exciting one. Some people expected OKC to kind of run away with the series, just sweep maybe, possibly. It's been kind of exciting. And I will say that I think the Pacers have to go away from this game thinking they have an opportunity to win.
Yeah.
They have an astronomical amount of turnovers. It is out of this world, literally. And they're only down 6-7 points. So, it's possible if they cannot turn the basketball over and get more shots up.
That's going to be the biggest thing. I mean, Tone, this team, I have in my notes, this team had 20 turnovers at the half. 20 turnovers at the half, and they were only down by 12. I mean, there's some things out to me so far. Obviously, we talked about it in the pregame show. Turnovers being that one thing that has stood out the most. As SGA knocks down both of his free throws, the score is now 106-98 in favor of the Thunder. But they've done a better job. They only have 4 turnovers so far in the second half. So they've done a better job of protecting the basketball, the Pacers, that is, in the second half. And oh my gosh. So, and for that reason, they've gotten closer into this game. It's only an 8-point game. Here's the craziest thing to me, Tony. The Thunder are shooting 41% from the field, and the Pacers are shooting 46% from the field. And the Thunder are up by 8. And that's strictly because of the turnovers. The Pacers are playing some very good defense. They're playing now. SGA's having his way. Other than that, and Lou Dort is the guy you mentioned in the pregame show. He's had a very good game, especially shooting the ball. Other than that, it's been very quiet from those other guys, Tone. I mean, J-Dub kind of came on late in the third quarter and kind of is doing his thing slowly in the fourth. Alex Caruso has had a few big shots. He had that big and one early in the fourth. Other than that, it's been a very quiet game for the others in OKC, Tone.
Well, both teams, even the starters, Indiana's struggling. Like they need to get shots up. They're not even getting good shot opportunities. Halliburton hasn't. What has he got? 10 shots, 11 shots.
Yeah, Halliburton is at 12 shots right now.
Yeah, Nembhard's not shooting the basketball. Pascal. Like there was a moment in the game where T.J. McConnell was leading the team in points, and it was like late in the second quarter.
That can't happen. We talked about the stars got to shine bright. So we talked about it. The stars got to shine bright. And to that point, I mean, yeah, McConnell had a very good first half. He's been quiet in the second half. Pascal Siakam and Tyrese Halliburton just have to be more aggressive. Simple as that. They have to be more aggressive. 14 shots with 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter, not good enough. 12 shots with 3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, not good enough. It's just not. Especially now, it's just not good enough. And so Siakam he's played well when he shot the ball, but he's got to shoot the ball, Tony. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got to shoot the ball. He got to put the ball up. Tyrese Halliburton has done his he's only turned the ball over 3 times, which, usually for a regular player, that's not bad. For Tyrese Halliburton, that's a lot. 3 turnovers is a lot for him. And I think that's just due to the Oklahoma City defense. I mean, that Oklahoma City defense is swarming. They are pesky. I mean, they started off the game. We talked about it right after we actually got off the pregame show. Cason Wallace started the game for the Thunder, and he started on Tyrese Halliburton. And so it's been interesting. And Cason Wallace is in the game here down the stretch in the important moments of the game. It's interesting to see. A few of the other notes I took, I mean, I guess we'll get into it later. We're going to talk more about this game, especially, as it wraps up here. That third quarter, that was huge. But the thing is, Tone, in the third quarter, they kept going back and forth, back and forth. You cannot go back and forth with the Oklahoma City Thunder. You go back and forth with them, you will lose. You are going to have to get a stop. At the end of that third quarter, Siakam hit a big 3 at the end to bring the lead down to 6. But SGA just comes right back and hits a 3 to put it back up to 9. And so that's what stars do. That's what stars do. And SGA has been just that in this game, a superstar.
Yeah, to that point, I think both teams have played really good defense. It's just that OKC has had better rhythm throughout the game. They know, I think you spoke to it in our pre-show, is that they have SGA, who's a great half-court scorer.
Yeah.
So when the game slows down, he can call out a play, set play, get himself a bucket, if not facilitate. The Indiana Pacers are struggling when they're turning the basketball over, obviously, but they just can't get any rhythm. And so even when they score, they go back on defense, and they come back, and it's like they have no pace to their offense. I feel like what happened to them early in the game bled throughout the game, but it is crazy that there's 2 minutes and they're down a bucket. So it's just insane how they look like they're struggling this much, but they're in this game against OKC.
I mean, and Tone, this is what they've been doing. Oh, that's great defense. But this is what the Pacers have been doing. They make big shots down the stretch when they need to. Andrew Nembhard just hit a 3, and SGA just made a layup to make it a 2-possession game again. 110-105 with just over a minute 20 left. And another steal. Oh, they called a foul. Now, remember, Oklahoma City does not have any challenges. Benedict Mathurin was fouled earlier in the game. They challenged it. They did lose that challenge, and that's just great defense. Yeah, Lou Dort. I mean, he's a ridiculously good defender. His block on Aaron Nesmith here.
The torture chamber.
Hey, ASU alum. I just do want to point that out there.
Yeah,
but
Richard Jefferson said that like multiple times throughout the game.
Oh yeah, about Richard Jefferson obviously does not like ASU. I know he's a bigger TJ McConnell fan, and I don't know. Actually, I believe TJ McConnell went to U of A, and Ben Matherin. They both went to U of A, of course, that being Richard Jefferson's alma mater. But Tone, one thing that's killed them, the Pacers, that is offensive rebounds. They have gotten out rebounded, especially on the offensive glass, by just too much. If they grab a few more offensive rebounds, I mean, this game is flipped. I think the Indiana's up. I mean, there's so many things that Indiana has done. Like, just Indiana could do better. And Pascal Siakam got a block on SGA. You know, Tone, you know who else has been huge for the Pacers in this game? Obi Toppin.
So that I was just going to speak to when we made our early game predictions of who would be that kind of off-brand superstar. I was going to say Obi because of how they've been slacking on the offensive boards, thinking that Obi was going to maybe pick up and help out on those. He has played. In the game, he's played well, but he had some mishap turnovers early in the game I didn't like, and again, it led to them being off rhythm. Whereas in the last series, he was making good defensive reads and getting them out on the break, which led to him catching alley oops and other things. So I'm hoping that later in the series he can pick it up. But
Yeah. Pascal Siakam goes out of bounds with the ball off a rebound, but they're saying that he got fouled, and it looks like Tony. It looks like he got fouled. Looks like Case One.
That's why I was
Yeah. It looks like
down one.
I mean, this is
Pacers
huge.
win this game. This is huge. This is
a huge moment in the game.
Yeah,
I mean, because
that's a foul.
I think so too. And
That's a foul. You're reaching.
I mean, you give OKC the ball, the shot clock's turned off. They don't have to put a shot up. And so they could, at that point, it's a free throw game. And so, but if Indiana gets the ball, they have a chance to go win the game.
Yeah,
This is a huge moment of the game.
Yeah.
Listen, one of the other things I took away from this game, Tone, so far, this has been physical, and it's not animosity physical, right? It's not like these two teams have a famous rivalry or they just hate each other. No, it's just been who wants it more. That's been the thing. And this is that old school, that tough basketball that we're kind of looking for. The score right now is what? 110 to 109. I mean, in regular season, Tone, you're seeing games that are 140, 135, and 130 to 121, and things like that. This is a decently low scoring game, a physical game. This is the finals that basketball, like pure basketball fans want to watch. And so I think game one, hopefully this has been a fantastic game. Hopefully this is the game that kind of tells us that maybe it's foreshadowing the rest of the series and how it's going to look.
Well played too. There wasn't a lot of crying, a lot of moaning, you know what I'm saying? A lot of whining throughout the game. These dudes have been playing. I actually just seen Caruso get kind of like knocked over by Nembhard, trying to take a charge. Refs didn't call anything. He jumped right back up and done on defense. And so I like that. Like you said, you spoke to it earlier. These teams earned it, and there's some values that speak out on the court when you earn things. You're not, not they're crying for stuff. But yeah, this it's been a great game. It's been a great game, and I like this level of physicality. I think the old school hoop lovers can respect this level of physicality.
It's fun to watch, boy. It's fun to watch. I think they're making the call right now. I have my sound off. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't hear it either. We'll see. You'll know the facial reactions.
And basing it off of Rick Carlisle's reaction.
Yeah.
Nah, looking too good for Indiana.
Wow.
This is. Oh, that's the look at. Oh my God, look at. Yeah. Okay. So he gets the ball. Indiana, they're gonna. I don't know, Tone. I think I'm with you. I think that should have been a foul. You got a foul though. Oh, no. There's 14 seconds left. Okay, they changed the shot clock. 14 seconds. Because he never had possession of the ball. SGA. Andrew Nembhard, great defense. Oh my gosh. No timeout. Why are they not calling a timeout? Tyrese Haliburton. Oh! Oh my gosh. Tyrese Halliburton.
Again,
Oh,
does it again.
how many dog? This is
Does it again. You know what I wanted to like? As soon as the game started and they showed this dude's face, yo, somebody got to speak up for the OG on their bench. Like, what's his name? Johnson.
James Johnson.
James Johnson. Like,
Yeah.
yo, a lot of hoopers speak highly of homeboy, and he don't play a game a minute on the game, but I'm sure he's respected in that locker room, and I'm sure his voice is heard.
Man,
Hell of a damn win. Game 1. That's crazy.
hey,
Hallie! What the hell?
hey,
What the hell?
we were just talking about their stars need to step up. Siakam and Halliburton need to step up.
What the hell?
If that's not the definition of stepping up, I don't know what is.
Yo, the crazy thing is he keeps talking to himself being clutch. He said, "I'm ready to shoot that basketball." When he made it against the Knicks, he was like, "I don't know why they don't respect me. I just made them shots against in the series before this," and he did.
Gucci.
If he wins this championship, though, that'd be nuts for Hallie because he beat some good teams.
Man, Gucci, I couldn't agree more. I think this might be a better series than what people are making it out to be. Oklahoma City is ridiculously good. I think this might be a better series than what people are making it out to be. This is just, oh my gosh.
Man, I didn't think the Pacers were going to win until in game 2. He won game 1? Insane.
So
I felt like they were going to win on the road, but I didn't think they were going to win game 1, man.
I had a feeling they'd steal one on the road just because of how good they've been on the road the whole playoffs. I mean, they took one obviously from New York. No, they took 2 from New York in New York, and from Cleveland they took 2 from Cleveland at home and closed them out in Cleveland. I mean, this team, same thing with Milwaukee. They beat Milwaukee in Milwaukee a couple times. This team has been ridiculously good on the road. I think that's where they thrive in. Tony, when you talk about Tyrese Halliburton being that villain, I think he loves that villain role. I think he loves that villain role. And here he is again, showing it again. I mean, that's just, I cannot give Oklahoma City. I cannot give the Pacers enough credit for coming back in this game. Tony, obviously there's still 0.3 seconds left. So, they could do a tap in. But, for the game, the turnover differential was 24-6, Tony.
And like the whole time, even when OKC was up 14 points, it still felt like Indiana had a chance because of that. You got so many turnovers. They're 2 shots away from being in this game.
And it finally goes final. The Pacers steal game 1 of the NBA Finals in Oklahoma City, 111-110 on a Tyrese Halliburton game-winning mid-range jumper. SGA, Tone, was fantastic in this game. 38 points, 14 of 30, 3 of 6 from the 3. He was dominant, getting to his spots, making shots. But he had nobody else really come along with him. He had Lou Dort, who made some shots. He had J-Dub, who kind of got going late. And then Caruso, who made a couple shots in the 4th. But when you listen to this stat line, Tony, 19, 10, 15, 14, 14, 17, 5, 9, 5, 3. It is everybody who touched the floor for the Pacers scored.
Well-rounded.
The definition of it, the definition of well-rounded. Everybody who touched the floor for the Indiana Pacers scored a bucket. Obi Toppin was probably their MVP tonight. He was fantastic.
I bet you if there's one mistake that they feel like they made, is that somehow, some way, Lou Dort was not guarding Halliburton that play.
And you know what, Tone? I think I'm talking like, oh, they didn't call timeout. They didn't call timeout. That's probably the reason why. Is because you have them going in transition. The Thunder, the Thunder defense is historically great, but there's only so many defenses, or you can only be so great when you're scrambling.
5th career go ahead bucket. It's nice.
And I saw a stat earlier, like a few weeks ago, Tone, like it was I think the Hallie's shot percentage, field goal percentage on game-winning shots is ridiculous. It's like in the high 70s. It's something ridiculous. Halliburton, man. What the Hallie? What the Hallie? That's all you can say after game one. What the Hallie? Because this is just ridiculous, man. Man. That was what a game. What a game. Tyrese Halliburton ends the game. 14 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists.
Wow, most go ahead of game time field goals. LeBron's got 8, Reggie's got 5, and Hallie's got 5.
2 of them just happened to be Pacers. I mean, like this is going to be a really good series. This has the chance to be one of the best finals since 2016.
KD and Bron.
Oh no, even the one that Bron came back.
Oh yeah.
Because even those ones weren't even very good. Those series ended in 4.
Those ones were very good.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the series between KD and Bron. I mean, those series were awful. Like those series.
Bron put on a show, man. He just lost.
He did, but they weren't competitive. I mean, this series is going to be good, Tone. Like this is going to be a very, very good series, and obviously, we will react to more of it. I mean, this is just insane. I mean, the Pacers, for how many mistakes they made, for allowing as many offensive rebounds as they allowed, and now again, maybe I'm speaking too soon because they out rebounded the Thunder by 17. So maybe it's not like as drastic as I think it is, but I mean,
it was that first half. It was that first half.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, the Pacers out rebounded offensively. They had more offensive rebounds than the Thunder. I didn't even realize it. It felt like when you absolutely needed a rebound, the Thunder got it. That's just what it felt like. So maybe that's the reason for me thinking that it was the other way. But our dog and Payne is back in the chat. Hey, the Pacers came out with one tonight. They snuck away with one. I'm talking about they came into the arena tonight with ski masks on. They get like this. Hey, they just cut 2 holes to the eyes. Walked right in with ski masks.
Definitely the defense. Definitely the defense, man.
Yeah, and like Gucci saying, the turnovers in the first half. It was like the Pacers have 20 turnovers compared to I think 4 that the Thunder had in the first half. I mean, and they were only down by 12. They're only down by 12. And I think that's when you talk about the depth of the Thunder. I mean, the Pacers might have the best depth in the NBA. I mean, like I said, everybody that touched the floor tonight scored, Tony.
Well, TJ McConnell is like scary good because you don't expect him to do what he does.
Exactly.
And he'll quietly have 10 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds in 10 minutes, 12 minutes. And that's pretty significant in that short span of time. And he does that even against quality teams. So like you said, Indiana has that depth. That's why when people talked about last year, we just played mediocre teams. I was like, are people not watching the game? Did they not see how good Indiana was playing? They were playing like they didn't need, like they didn't need Hallie. I'm not saying that Hallie's not valuable, but they play great basketball. But yeah, like you said, this is exciting to see, man, and you can only expect SGA to come back with a little bit of,
I'll tell you this, Tony. If the Pacers play like this again, they will lose. No question. They will lose. But for them to steal this game on the road in Oklahoma City to where I believe is the best atmosphere currently in the playoffs. I mean, that is impressive. That is
Because
ridiculous.
I don't think they will play like this again. That's the thing.
That's the
It's kind of scary for OKC. I don't think that Indiana's going to play this bad. They're going to clean a lot of that up.
OKC. That's terrifying for OKC. And Tone, what did I say before the game? Isaiah Hartenstein, he has to be the big that he is. Now, again, I understand he came off the bench today. I understand that.
I was going to say, this starting center got to be the big that he is too.
Chet was quiet today, Tone. Chet didn't do much. He only had 6 points.
Much. He didn't do anything.
I mean, at 6 rebounds. 6 rebounds.
6 points, 6 rebounds. Nasty work.
I mean, he has.
And then it was a very defensive game. But if OKC wants to win this series, they've got to have a Robin. They didn't even have a Robin tonight.
No, there was nobody. J-Dub has to be better. 6-19 won't get the job done. Will not get the job. 19 shots is okay. If I'm a Thunder fan, I'm okay with Jalen Williams taking 19 shots. But for you to make 6?
I'm not.
No, why not? You think that's too many or too little?
Honestly, I feel like it was a little too much for both of them, SGA and J-Dub. Like the basketball was stuck. It wasn't moving. At the same way that people complained about Jalen Brunson last series, and then certain times when he came in the game and they found ways to get the basketball moving, and then they had more success. It's the same situation for me this first game. It was stuck in SGA's hand. Like he shot 48%, 47% from the field, but I still think some of the shots SGA. I still think some of the shots were forced the way he wasn't playmaking. Everyone knew it was SGA against his opponent. It was just 5 out, watch out, let me get this bucket. But I think part of the reason why is they're trying to make sure SGA gets going and tires their defense down. But sometimes you got to step away from that and play make for your team so that your Robin gets rolling.
See that, you know what? That I might see that one. I might have to disagree with you, Tone. I think SGA. I think what he did tonight is exactly what he needs to do. Now, to your point, the ball did seem like it was sticking at points in time, but I do also feel like it was getting to the open shooters. Like Lou Dort hit a bunch of threes tonight. Obviously, SGA was getting to his spots. But you know what? Maybe you might be right. So I don't want to disagree too much to that point because SGA did shoot the ball a lot, but he was fantastic. But I think SGA needs to be that star. He needs to take the 30 shots. He needs to take the 27, 28, 29 shots.
But you know those games where he's like 15 for 19 versus 14 for 30?
Yeah.
Like he has to be more efficient and effective with his playmaking because in order for them to win this series, it's looking like they need to find their Robin. Like, some people sometimes like you brought it up in the pre-show is who's the Indiana Pacers Batman.
Yeah.
Well, they win without figuring it out. Right now, it's looking like OKC might need to figure it out. Is it Chet? Is it J-Dub? J-Dub shooting 19 shots, but not effectively. Chet to me is their Robin, and then J-Dub is like that guy who just fills in the blanks. But yeah, it was a great game. It was a great game. I will say that. It was a great game, man. A lot of defense. That boy Caruso is a baller, man.
Caruso had a heck of a game on both sides of the floor. He was, what do you expect? He has championship pedigree. He's fantastic. He had 3 steals, 2 blocks. He had 11 points to go with that, and a crucial and one in the fourth quarter. He was great. Yeah, I think that might be the biggest story of this game, Tone, is who's going to be the Robin to SGA's Batman. Now, like, obviously the Pacers could have played better, but to that point, they're going to have to turn the ball over way less. Miles Turner. Why does Miles Turner have 6 turnovers? Why does he have the ball enough to turn the ball over 6 times? That is ridiculous. That cannot happen again. Obi Toppin had 3 turnovers. TJ McConnell had 3 turnovers. I mean, early in the game, Aaron Nesmith had 5 turnovers. I mean, early in the game, it looked like the Pacers were just scared. I mean, I texted you in the first quarter, Tone. The Pacers just looked outmatched.
They were playing a little too quick at times. They were playing too fast.
Yeah,
they need to slow down.
The scary part about that for the Thunder is they won this game, and they were just feeling the game out. Now they know, okay, this is what it feels like to play in an NBA Finals. How do we get better? Now, the Thunder are also going to get better. They of course, they have game 2 at home. So again, this is going to be a very good series. But to that point, I mean, I'm looking at the stat. The Pacers are 7-2 on the road this season. 7-2. And just this postseason, Tyrese Halliburton has 4 game-tying or go-ahead field goals.
Mosquito.
Sorry, that caught me off guard. But like that, this Pacers team just knows how to win, and they showed that tonight. This
got grit.
Really
good. That's what it's called. Grit.
Grit, resiliency. I mean, they just don't go away. They don't go away. So game 2 will be very, very interesting to see what happens.
A lot of pressure on the Thunder right now. A lot of pressure.
Boy, I mean, when you talk about that, like the pressure has began to build up in Oklahoma City, and I think the fans are kind of starting to realize it. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how they respond on Sunday night. Sunday night game 2 at 5:00, 8 p.m. Eastern. All right, so let's get into a few other things. Let's spend a few minutes on, I'm wearing my shirt. The Suns went out and finally decided to hire a new head coach. That head coach being assistant head coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers last year, Jordan Ott. Now, Tone, the big story of this hiring is he's a Michigan State guy, right? Who else went to Michigan State? Matt Ishbia. And so, who else went to Michigan State? Brian Gregory, the general manager. And so, also,
I might have went to Michigan State. Fill me out the application, man.
Hey, Gucci. Gucci. If you went and applied for the head coaching job for the Suns and put Michigan State on your resume, oh yeah, you get new head coach immediately.
All right.
But that's a big story. That's a big story, and I'm saying, yeah. Listen. We'll get into it a little bit here. The Suns. They're gonna need to blow it up, and so there are a few stories that came out today, about just the Suns in general. But let's talk about this head coach, Jordan Ott, being, obviously he was the assistant coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers, the team with the second best record in the NBA. Of course, the best record in the East. And big story being he went to Michigan State. And that's kind of been the story around the Phoenix Suns. If you went to Michigan State, you got the job. You got the general manager job. You got the coaching job. What was, Tone, I have a few things to kind of go off on a tangent about this. So I'll kind of let you give your thoughts here first. But what's your reaction to the Suns hiring Jordan Ott?
I would say my first reaction was similar to what you're speaking of not understanding why someone would kind of monkey wrench your own business, because the conversation then goes to like the LeBron and Bronny or Brunson and his dad situation, where it's just like, is there favoritism? Are you looking out for your peoples? And that can create. I can just create chaos or drama inside of an organization. But then I did a little bit of research, and I found out that homeboy's actually a good coach. And so I truly feel like the NBA is doing what I like to call the Celtics rule or the Missoula rule of going younger for a more authentic locker room, a player-coach connection. To where you want the coach to have a little bit more of an understanding of how the players, what they're going through, being on and off the court. And so with that, and then they said that he's a really good leader and a communicator within the locker room, and said, why not? Why not? You look around, he's got the experience. The Cleveland Cavaliers had a lot of success. When you find out what assistant coaches have to do within an organization every day, why not give him a shot? The Suns are actually going through some turmoil. So if he can create, some level of success within, it'll be good for the future of the Phoenix Suns to start now.
Real quick before I kind of go off on my little tangent. Untamed, he said he kind of called it a few years ago. Book needs a true point guard. And he's a shooting guard. Now, to that point, Devin Booker can play the point guard. He can play the point guard. He's not at his best when he's playing the point guard. If that makes sense. I don't think he's at his best when he's playing point guard. He can play it. He's just not at his best when he's playing point guard. So that's also true. I mean, it's just, you know what, Gucci, that's a good point. I'm glad you got to that. So the biggest thing to me is now the Suns head coaching interviews, right? The guys who they brought in, they brought in about 9 guys. Only one of them, maybe 1 or 2 of them went to Michigan State. I hope this is not the case, but it's hard for me to defer that it's not. That you're hiring these guys because they went to Michigan State. I understand, this is your team, right, Matt? Like this, I understand this is your organization that you want to build. You went to Michigan State. You are a Michigan guy. And so the report is Devin Booker signed off on Jordan not being hired. That was his guy. Tone, do you know who also is from Michigan? Devin Booker is also from Michigan. And so I don't know if it's a Michigan thing. I don't know what the case is. Regardless, if Jordan Knott can come in and relate to the players and be a leader of men and do what Mike Budenholzer couldn't do last year. You and I have talked about this. I don't think they're going to be as good as they were this year. And they were terrible this year. I don't think they're going to win as many games as they won this year. Again, depending on what they do with Kevin Durant, we're going to get to that in a few minutes. You have to be able to come in here and communicate, right? He's been on a few really good staffs. He was on the staff last year, obviously, with that very, very good Cleveland Cavaliers team. He was on the staff with the Nets and KD and Kyrie and James Harden. That team obviously went to the Eastern Conference Finals. And Steve Nash raved about him, apparently. That's the word. Steve Nash, and obviously Steve Nash being the head coach of the Nets at that time, raved about Jordan Knott. Oh, he's such a good communicator. He's a leader. He's this, he's that. But this job is not gonna be. It's not gonna be easy. I mean, this is. You're going to have to make a full 180 turnaround, and so because of that, there's no middle ground, Tony. This is either gonna be one of the best things the Suns have ever done, one of the worst things the Suns have ever done. And that's saying a lot because the Suns have done some bad stuff. They made some really bad decisions in the past few years. But now it's on to what you do with the roster. And I said a few weeks ago, Bradley Beal won't be here next year. Kevin Durant won't be here next year. Again, we're going to get to that here shortly. So you roll with your guy. You roll with Devin Booker. You build around him. You've seen him be able to take a team to the finals and win 2 games in the finals. But that's when he had a pretty good team around him. If you're able to do that and build around him, you bring in defense. You bring in guys with grit and toughness. This Pacer team, grit, tough. Oklahoma City, gritty, tough, nasty. Play defense. Move the ball. If you're able to do that around a star who I believe is a star in Devin Booker at his best, then you can make a run. Like I said, next year, I don't think that run is going to be made. But eventually, within the next 3 or 4 years of Devin Booker's prime, you are going to have to make a run. Not only for the organization, but for Devin Booker and how loyal he has been. real quick before we move on to the next subject. So Kendrick Perkins said something the other day. Actually, real quick, Untamed, he said, I'm sorry, but this is looking out for your people type signing and it's evident all around the league, as you guys said earlier. It's the Michigan State connection is a little worrisome. I hope that's not the case, but you only know so you can only know so much from what's going on inside the organization.
I said if somehow Draymond Green ends up on the Suns, now we know.
I didn't see. There you go. I didn't even think about that. That was good. That was good. It's gonna be interesting to see. But I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see what you think, Tone. Kendrick Perkins said, I think it was yesterday. He said, if Devin Booker, right after all this, if all this stuff has happened, right? You trade for Bradley Beal, you trade for Kevin Durant, everything goes downhill, right? Gucci says, bring Mike D'Antoni back as an assistant coach. I don't know. I don't know if Mike D'Antoni has the wherewithal to drop in terms of power.
As an assistant coach, I think he has to now at this day and age, and he's the guy that kind of created that fast-paced offense, which you got to have right now.
Yeah.
And so if you're not going to win the championship, you might as well make it exciting. You know?
Yeah. I mean, you got to put butts in seats. Got to put butts in seats, and with the way it's going, those seats might be a little cheap next year for the Suns. But Kendrick Perkins said yesterday. He said, and I'm paraphrasing. He said, if Devin Booker doesn't ask out of Phoenix, that means he is a loser. That means he has no problem with losing. That means he doesn't want to win. I have a few thoughts on this, but I'll also start with, I think Kendrick Perkins, I don't know who's paying this guy to speak in front of a camera, in front of millions of people. I think he is just, I don't think he should be on television. But Tame agrees. I mean, that's just insane. That's insane to me. But Tone, what do you think? What do you think about that, bro? I think that's, I don't know.
I will say, as a OG watcher of the game, that's not what you really want to hear by a champion. Honestly, he is a champ. But I understand where he's coming from. And this is a new day and age of NBA basketball. We've watched shit.
See, there you go. I think you're seeing things.
I swore. Goodness gracious. Another LeBron asked out. Kevin Durant's now asking out. We've seen a number of top tier, high caliber, superstar, elite basketball players ask out.
Yeah. So
like, why are you gonna make Devin Booker? I agree on Tim, because I watched the game from back in the day. It's a different game now. The way that LeBron was criticized for doing it is because when people would ask out, it wasn't brought to the media then.
Yeah.
There was an actual media push to degrade LeBron's success because of Michael Jordan staying with one team, 6 for 6. That's a lucky draw to dice. Like, that doesn't happen for people. The same thing that happened for Steph Curry. Like, he had to have those ankle injuries for that situation to work out. It just doesn't work out. And so I'm sure at the time, Steph's like, I want my ankles to be good. But then after they weren't good, he's like, oh, shoot. I got Iggy with me, who was a top draft pick. I got Clay, who was you know what I'm saying? You got all these pieces around him now, and it pans out.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't call Book a loser, but I understand what he's saying. For Book to leave a legacy, he's got to win, or else he's gonna end up. You yourself, Maul, are gonna end up having the same conversations that I have, because Allen Iverson is my GOAT. I recognize Michael Jordan is the GOAT. LeBron, to me, is the best basketball player I've seen. But my GOAT is Allen Iverson. And I have to argue with people all the time simply because he doesn't have a championship. He has a lot of other accolades, accomplishments, stats, but he doesn't have a championship. And some people say that because you retire or your career ends without a championship, that you're not legendary or in certain rooms of legendary status. So I understand where Perk is coming from, but I do agree that it's a lame thing to say.
Now Gucci, it doesn't sound like he believes that the Suns should build around Devin Booker again. Although he's better now than what he was when he went to the finals. Gucci.
But I think all teams are, and that's the issue. Because I agree with what you're saying, that this can be the right thing to do, but I'm like, it's almost too late. Like they made certain mistakes that you can't make that early by losing depth, by going to get that superstar, but the game had changed. It went from having 2.5 stars to having 7, 8 starters almost. Like you have 7, 8 players on your roster that can start. They might not all start, but you have 7 or 8 players that can start, and now you have depth, and that's what the Suns gave up.
And to Untamed's point, Tone, Devin Booker is not a player that you put stars around. Devin Booker is the star you put role players around. You put Mikal Bridges and you put Cam Johnson and DeAndre Ayton's and Chris Paul's and Cam Payne's and you put those type of guys around Devin Booker and let him work. To Kendrick Perkins' point, that is quite possibly the dumbest, the most idiotic. I don't understand. Because let's just get this out the way. Kendrick Perkins was never good enough to ask out. And he was never good enough to ask out. So this asking out stuff, he has zero experience with. Zero. And when you talk about guys like Devin Booker who are loyal to their team, did Kobe Bryant ask out in 2013, 2014 when the Lakers
Not
were terrible?
then, but he did ask out. He wanted to go to Chicago.
Did he?
Or Philly. Yeah, he did ask out.
Oh, okay. Oh. But you see guys who spend their entire careers with one team. You see guys like Tim Duncan. Obviously, they won 5 championships and they're competitive every year, so that's a little different. I don't understand what's wrong with being loyal to your team, to the team that drafted you, to the city that has made you their own. Okay. Well, Gucci, yes, he won a championship with Boston, but when you talk about big three, you don't think of Kendrick Perkins. You think of Ray Allen.
Perkins said that OKC has not made a conference championship since he left, and it's a fact.
And now they might win a championship now that he's gone.
I don't know. They just lost game 1.
They did just lose game 1, but that's
no. I completely agree. I think it's just the times. Like the NBA has changed. A lot of situations are not the way they used to be. A lot of organizations aren't as faithful to the players as they once were, and so that's why the ownership has been more on the players. And so he's saying, D-Book, if you don't win a championship, just know that your name is going to be represented differently. And so, again, I agree with both sides. I agree that's something that that's a conversation you probably had with D-Book in person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't say that on national TV because there's some people that don't really understand what he's saying. And all he's saying is, D-Book, yo, you're a legendary player in this game. And if you don't win a championship just because you want to be faithful to the Phoenix Suns, there's a lot of people who don't care about that. The people of Phoenix care about it, but there's a lot of NBA fans that don't even live in America that are going to look at you and go, damn, I remember how much like Kobe and so-and-so he was when he couldn't win the championship. And I know that feeling because people say the same thing about Tatum. You know what I'm saying? Up until last year.
Now again, you and your boy Untamed, the Celtics fans. You know, if he said if Kobe didn't tear Kendrick Perkins ACL in 2010, that would have been. I don't know.
Perk was. You got to think like the NBA was changing, and there weren't a lot of dominant bigs. He didn't have to score. He just was the beast in the paint to play defense.
Yeah.
And so he played his role to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? You scored 9 points, 10, 11 rebounds, 2-3 blocks, couple fouls. Thank you, Perk.
Yeah, Perk, I do have to give him credit. He did play his role, but he was never that star. He was never that star in which he could ask out.
He wasn't even a C or D player. He was further down the line.
Oh yeah, but I don't know. I think that was just ridiculous. I think that was just ridiculous for Perk to say. But maybe I'm a little biased. Maybe maybe people agree, but I think that was dumb for him to say. Just call Devin Booker a loser for not asking out of Phoenix because of what's going on. Oh yeah. I thought that was ridiculous. To Untame's point, Kendrick Perkins, his presence helped him.
Hold on, don't skip over what Gucci said. Don't skip over that. Let's see that part. Yeah, let's see that part.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, hey, Al Jefferson was he did change the game, but he was pretty good.
What? That's not what I'm pretty sure he means AI.
No?
I'm pretty sure that's AI. No. That's not Big Al Horford.
That's not Al.
Al Jefferson. None of those Celtic guys. None of those Celtic. He's talking about Bubba Chuck.
No, not Al Jefferson. No. Okay. It's all right. But yeah, the West is getting better, obviously. As you can see, Oklahoma City is, the best team in the league the past 2 years. So it's going to be tough for the Suns to actually make a run. But speaking of asking out, I don't think he's asking out. I think it's more mutual than it is asking out. But obviously, Kevin Durant is looking to be traded, and the Suns are looking to trade Kevin Durant. And now that they have a head coach, they are now opening up the phone lines for Kevin Durant to be traded. Now, the reports are, shout out my guy Gambo. He reported today that the 5 teams that are going to be most interested in are San Antonio Spurs, Houston Rockets, Minnesota Timberwolves, Miami Heat, and there's one other team and the Knicks. So now Shams did report that there was an offer made to the Suns from the Knicks. It would be interesting to see who the Knicks would have to give up. Now, I hope Mikal Bridges would come back. I hope either Mikal Bridges or OG. I would not mind.
I'd rock with Bridges, but if y'all get OG,
here's the thing that scares me about OG. He was healthy this year, very healthy. That has not been his career.
No, I was just gonna say, well, where are you going with this? Because he had a good year. He averaged more than Mikal. He was more reliable than Mikal. And I like Mikal.
Yep.
You know I like Mikal. I just tend to talk trash about him because he doesn't live up to the potential that I see in him. OG had a phenomenal year, and I feel like he's getting better. He's shooting the 3 better. He's moving his feet laterally better.
Yeah.
OG's nice, man.
It just scares me. It terrifies me.
That Untamed said, nah.
He Untamed. Hey, Untamed. Hey, I don't think the people in the back heard you, bro. I don't think people in the back heard you. I don't think they did. So I
respect Mikal. Mikal got the off the dribble, but he wasn't consistent this year. And when you look at that roster, they had expectations for Mikal to pick up slack throughout the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if he did, they definitely would have won that series, and who knows what would have happened.
And okay, but also, Tone, to Untamed's point, Mikal Bridges does not miss games.
I don't care about that. Miss a game if you're gonna come back and score 25.
No.
Don't not miss the game and score 7 when we needed you to score 15.
But that's the thing about OG. OG, he has a tendency. Now this year he was relatively healthy, but he has had a history of missing games. Yeah. Mikal Bridges does not miss games. But he always gives you defense, whether he's scoring a basketball or not.
And OG don't.
OG does.
So who averaged more points? Who averaged more points and assists and rebounds?
I actually don't know.
I do.
See, again, I'm not saying OG. Again, I would love OG. I would love OG to become a Phoenix Sun. That's the only thing that worries me though, Tone. He has a tendency to miss games.
I respect that. I respect
And
that, especially because you guys are gonna need. You're likely not gonna get as many players back for a KD. You know what I'm saying? So you won't have as much depth. You're gonna need players who are gonna play plus 70, plus 72 games, plus 70.
I mean, until they were kind of even. They were kind of. I mean, he averaged. OG averaged 18. Mikal averaged 17.6. Mikal averaged for 3.7 rebounds. OG averaged 4.8. And Mikal averaged 3.7 assists. He averaged 2.2. Mikal shot a better percentage from the field. OG shot a better percentage from the three. I mean, it's not like it's a big drastic. And they shot the same. They shot the same.
To me,
same
it's based off of expectations. I didn't expect OG to be as good as Mikal this year. I expected Mikal to honestly average, closer to 20 points, 18 points. And I expected it to be a more flip-flop. I just did.
Hey, Tom. Hey, your boys. Hey, Big Baby or Perk? Who's better?
Oh, that's tough. I'll probably go Big Baby. And I actually played against him.
Really?
I played against him in real life. He's quick. He can shoot. He can shoot. Like, Big Baby can shoot.
Okay, that's tough.
And as I said, it's tough. Like when you see somebody play in real life, it's a little like I'm talking about close and personal.
On TV.
Yeah, it changed my perspective. I definitely like Perk's game, but and here's the other thing is what we don't realize in the NBA is 90% of them are role players. They actually have more in their bag, but they're not allowed to do that because that's not their role in the game. You have to make sure Kobe gets his shots. You got to make sure Devin Booker gets his shots. You know what I'm saying? PJ Tucker can actually shoot the basketball. That wasn't his job. And so when I seen Big Baby do the basketball, I was like, oh, you can do that?
Yeah.
And it was shocking. Like he was shooting from Steph and he was I seen him make 5, 6 in a row. I'm like, oh, damn. Why the hell you didn't shoot those in the game?
Untame has Perk over Big Baby. I think I might have Perk over Big Baby. I don't know.
I'm not against it because Perk played a phenomenal OKC too.
I think Baby was just. I think he was a little bit more skilled than Perk was, and I think Perk was just a little bit more necessity in terms of what they needed. The Celtics, that is. Untame. He says Mikal will make sure he plays all through the regular season. He'll give your team more wins and a higher seed in the playoffs. Mikal is a winner. Mikal Bridges is a winner. That's what he's done for a majority of his career. The first 2 years of his career, he was on a very bad Suns team. After that, he helped that. He was a huge part of the Suns getting to the playoffs. So Untame is very emphatic on Mikal over OG. I agree. I just think Mikal has a bigger part in winning, and OG I think he's very good, but and Untame said he played Drew Holiday in high school. He had 35 on him.
Buckets.
Hey, Drew Holiday, boy, them NBA players, boy, they're no joke. They no joke. Against other NBA players, yeah, they look like a regular basketball player. Against guys like us, boy.
Man, I played against Marcus Banks too for a quick minute. This dude was doing windmills off vert. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, see. Good. Just hold on. Technical difficulties. Anyways, so I mean, to Kevin Durant's point, or to the point about Kevin Durant. I mean, is there Untame? Oh yeah, Untame said he graduated high school in 2008.
Yeah, I just glossed over that. I ain't gonna mention when I graduated.
Yeah. He said he was old. Do we want to have this conversation, Tony, or you want to skip past this?
Nah, we can move along.
Let's skip past. Okay, just want to make sure. We've talked about this. Obviously, we did a Gumballs Goats the other day. Kevin Durant. It's gonna be interesting to see what teams are actually genuinely interested in him, as well as the teams that are actually genuinely interested in acquiring Giannis. because I think those two can go hand in hand. They can go hand in hand. Because if the same teams are going after Giannis and the same teams are going after KD,
I think they will affect one another.
absolutely. Because you're going to have to give up more for Giannis than you will for KD. But KD is also 37, and Giannis is in the prime of his career, and it was one of the best players in basketball. And so that's just the decisions you're going to have to make. And again, we mentioned it. We talked about it the other day. Tone, I believe you said Houston is the best fit for KD.
Well, that's primarily because I feel like Giannis is going to end up a San Antonio Spur. Although it's been said that he wants to remain in the East, I just truly don't believe that. When you look at Giannis is one of those guys who wants to face the toughest competitors. And the East Coast, is known to be a little bit breezier than the West Coast. Although I think the East is getting tougher. The West is just it's back to the old school West that it used to be. It's really dominant right now. You look at the top 5 players in the NBA. A lot of them are over there. And yeah, I would suggest that Giannis wants to play them more often than not, so he can show his dominance. And then when you look at that team, the San Antonio Spurs, they have what looks like to be the next best player in the NBA. He's gonna, he might not be as electrifying as an Anthony Edwards or Ja Morant, but Wemby's likely to be the best player to face of the NBA for years to come. And you put Giannis next to that, and man, they could win a championship in the next 2 or 3 years. And so if he doesn't go there, then I would say Kevin Durant. Why not give it a chance? That's going to be a heck of an offense. But if Giannis goes there, it's just they have so much value in Houston to give up and still keep some and to be good next year. And that's why I would think it would be good for Kevin Durant to go there, because if you give up too much, then it's pointless. You're in a situation that's similar to Phoenix. So you don't want to give up too much to where now you're lacking in certain areas next year. But the only other team I would say is the Knicks.
Yeah, I think that'd be interesting, because obviously you're going and looking for a new coach now. Now that you let Tibbs go, it would have to be a coach that obviously Kevin Durant can build a relationship with, because you saw how the past 2 years went with the coaches he did not like, and it was a failure both years.
Where did Julius Randle go to college?
That's a great point. That's a great question. Let me go ahead and find out. Julius Randle. Let's see.
What am I thinking?
Kentucky.
Yeah. Where did Devin Booker go to college?
University of Kentucky.
Interesting.
Now, the thing with the Timberwolves now is they have interest in Kevin Durant, but they are not willing to give up Jaden McDaniels. So if you trade Kevin Durant to Minnesota, you get a few picks. Now, can you get Julius Randle? Can you get Naz Reid? Can you get Dante DiVincenzo? Can you get some of these role players that can be key to a championship winning team? Now Gucci, the only thing that I would say about this is that Suns team that made it to the finals, I think they peaked. I don't know if they would have been able to get to the finals after losing to the Mavericks, because the following year they were good. They weren't great. They weren't nearly as great as they were the year before. And so, yeah, see, there you go. See that this is a positive show, Gucci. Why you out here hurting people's feelings? My feelings specifically. There you go.
But to that point, I think that's the reason why I have expectations for Mikal that maybe other people don't have. but I really feel like he could average 22 to 25 in the NBA and be a Robin. And if he to me, he can't guard the four the way OG can.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, if you can get OG, get OG. Like,
Yeah.
I like Mikal, but OG can guard more.
He can guard. I think Mikal Bridges is a better perimeter defender, and I think OG is the better interior defender in terms of the post guys, the big guys. So and as well as OG can also guard on the perimeter like nobody's business either. But I thought this was interesting too, Tom. Mario Chalmers, obviously the former point guard in the NBA, won 2 championships with the Heat. Spent most of his career with the Heat. He went on Nightcap with Uncle Ocho, Shannon Sharp, and Chad Ochocinco, Chad Johnson. He said, "Yeah, Giannis, he's gonna have one hell of a career. Still not better than KD." Now, I have gone on record on this show and said that Kevin Durant, in my opinion, is the most skilled basketball player to ever touch a basketball. That's just my opinion. And it seems like Mario Chalmers also believes that. What do you believe the same thing, Tone? Do you think even if Giannis has this fantastic career, this amazing career, he still wouldn't be better than KD? Or do you feel like Giannis is already above KD?
No, I don't even think that's like a clickbait topic. Like that just sounded like general conversation to me. I'm like, yeah, I agree completely. I don't. Giannis is a phenomenal player, and I will say that I think people kind of downgrade Kevin Durant's career because of the trade to Golden State. Like people try to say he went and hopped on their bandwagon or whatever the case may be. He did, but I also think that Golden State needed him if they were going to beat LeBron James again. And so it worked out for everyone, and KD got the Finals MVP as deserved, and had a amazing Finals. And Giannis is an amazing player. And so was Wilt Chamberlain. But when you're capable of dribbling and shooting the basketball the way that Kevin Durant is, I think that there's an element that separates. Like, I love Russell Westbrook, and maybe to myself personally, I might say that in some ways I feel like Westbrook is better than Steph Curry. But he ain't.
Yeah.
He ain't.
He's just there's few that are better. There's few that are.
And then when you look at the percentages, and like that's the other thing is these dudes are shooting and they're still shooting at really high clips. Like Giannis, what is his field goal percentages in the high 50s, something like that, like 57, 58%. Well, Kevin Durant is shooting 52%, and he's shooting a lot more threes and twos and middies. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, dog. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, keep going. Give me 1 second.
No problem. And I personally think that Kevin Durant is just a different type of beast. And again, Giannis has a unique skill set to be 7 foot tall, to be that quick, to be that athletic, to be able to defend pretty much every position. And he's worked really hard. He came in the league really skinny and not really understanding the American game. And he's been able to learn it and translate into an elite superstar, caliber player. But he hasn't added that element of shooting. And so I when I look at Shaq was the most dominant player I've ever seen. Giannis is maybe a second. And they say Wilt was right there.
Yeah.
But even Hakeem Olajuwon, just because he had the midi, he abused Shaq.
He's just shooting over everybody.
Abused Shaq. And so I love Giannis, but yeah, Kevin Durant's different.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think there's anybody more skilled in terms of playing basketball than Kevin Durant in the basketball universe of all time, of anybody who stepped foot in the basketball universe. But it's like right now, I can't. Yeah, I understand Giannis has the 2 MVPs and the defensive player of the year. I understand all that. right now Kevin Durant is higher on my all-time list than Giannis is. That's just what it is. And so to that point, I like roll the basketball out there and just go play. Kevin Durant is the better basketball player. No, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Even right now at his age, right now. But when you look at everything combined, when you look at his ability to play defense and how dominant he is on offense and how he is kind of unstoppable, Giannis is a monster. He's a freak of nature. That's why they call him the Greek Freak. But he's no KD. he's no Kevin Durant. All right, so I thought we might end the night off on this. I thought this was interesting because we're in the finals. Marcus Morris Sr. was on First Take last week, and he said this about Tyrese Halliburton. The way the trajectory of his career is going is CP3-esque. If he continues to get better, he's going to be put in that same category as one of the best point guards to ever play the game. What is your reaction to that, Tom?
Couldn't agree more. Honestly, you guys were giving me some tough crap last week when I put him so high on the list. But I do think I'm looking at and analyzing from a trajectory standpoint. It's also that he affects the game without scoring. Honestly, like he does the other things, and when he adds this scoring ability and is more consistent, he becomes Batman. He, without a doubt, on that team, he will become Batman. But it reminds me of Chris Paul. Chris Paul was actually more of a scorer to me when he came in the league, though, than Halliburton is. To me, it honestly reminds me of Jason Kidd. And I thought I said that last week. Of course, Jason Kidd was a lot bit more better a defender. But the way he was taking over games from a facilitating standpoint, and then in the prime of his career, he became an outstanding three-point shooter, was shooting mid-40s and really couldn't shoot at all when he came into the league. Now, I don't think that it was how he couldn't shoot at all. It's just that he was playmaking, 70, 80% of his game time, and now he's added the scoring, and it's a plus. And I think that he's going to continue. I think that it was Indiana's game plan to allow Nehard and the other guys to be the scorers, but they now see that it's beneficial for him to take certain points of the game and shoot 3 and 4 or 5 shots in a row because he's effective. And I do think he will be one of the best point guards in the league and one of the best pure point guards that we'll remember for a long time.
Yeah, I agree with that statement to an extent. Halliburton is the best pure point guard in the association right now. I have no argument about that. He is the best pure point guard in the NBA as we stand right now. For him to be in that all-time great point guard situation, and to your point, Tone, he does affect the game even when he's not scoring. The greatest point guards of all time have done that. The Magic Johnsons, the John Stocktons, the Chris Pauls, the Steve Nashes, the Jason Kidds. They don't have to score to affect the game. And he did the same, and he's done the same thing. What he's going to have to keep doing, and he's done a great job of it, especially the past few years, what he's going to have to keep doing is keep winning at a high level and keep performing at a high level when he does get to those moments. And he's done exactly that, especially within these past 2 years. But to put him in that conversation not now, but to say that he's going to be one of those guys is not far-fetched. I don't want to say it's not that far-fetched based on what he's done the 2 previous years. I also don't want to go off recency bias, though. He's been really good recently. Really good. But when you look at him in the regular season, now, again, he's okay. He's not great. These other guys we talked about were really good in the regular season and consistent throughout the regular season. The John Stocktons, the Jason Kidds, the Chris Pauls. Those guys were really good throughout the regular season. I mean, when you look at it, Steve Nash won 2 MVPs, averaging like 15 and 18 points, but he also averaged 13 points, 13 assists, and he was the best player on his team, on the best team in the league.
Was he better than Amari though?
Stop that.
I'm being honest.
that.
Amari was averaging like 20 and 13
Don't do that.
and 2 blocks.
Amari is not one of the best players at his position of all time.
Some people argue that. Some people say that Amari needs more respect on his name because after KG, Timmy, and those guys, there was a point in the game where there wasn't an elite power forward, but there was because no one was mentioning Amari Stoudemire's name.
I believe it. Like when you talk about at that time, especially when you talk about the Timmys, the Dirks, the KGs, he was in that top 5 for sure. The Chris Bosh when he was in Toronto.
He gave Timmy 40. He gave KG 40. He gave all of the guys that he thought were the guys. He gave them work.
He did. I just, but in terms of Tyrese Halliburton, if he continues to play like this when it matters most, and he continues to win at a high level, he will absolutely be thrown into that conversation in terms of best point guards of all time. He absolutely is. Now, obviously, he's not even in the parking lot.
It's based off a trajectory, and that's why I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but based off of trajectory, the way that
when you look
right
at
now,
the elite point guard you just brought up, and Steve Nash and Tyrese Halliburton is really close to that, like averages and turnover to assist ratio. When you look at his team, and you look at the East, and you go, oh, how many teams are going to be good in the East next year? Oh, they're likely going to be a top 3 team, and so
yeah. If they've been as good as they have been the past few years, they'll be a top 3 team in the East without a doubt. Because obviously the C's lost their best player in Jason Tatum. The Bucks are going to lose their best player in most likely. Now, obviously, he's still on the Bucks. He's most likely not going to be a Buck next year, and obviously Dame is out with his Achilles injury. That they could easily be a top 2, top 3 team in the East next year. And I think that'll be interesting to see. But I did want to get your thoughts on that before we get out of here. Now let's react to some of these comments that
Yeah, and Tay.
Yeah, listen,
I like that.
I wouldn't mind it. I would not mind it. The only thing is Kevin Durant does not want to go to Golden State.
Yeah,
you don't want to go to Golden State.
Real quick, the only person who I see has potential to be a better pure point guard is Cade Cunningham, because he can score 20, and all he has to do is work on his assist to turnover ratio. So if he gets the assist,
turns the ball over,
and he can still score the ball at will.
Yeah, Cade right now, and it was interesting. So we had this conversation probably before the season even started. This was 5-6 months ago. It was a conversation of who would you take right now in terms of Tyrese Halliburton, Cade Cunningham, LaMelo Ball, and Trae Young. And I think I took LaMelo, and you took Cade. Yeah. Now, LaMelo, obviously, I think he's still one of the best point guards in the game. And, we made our list on the last episode of GSM. So if you do want to go check out our best players at each position, go check that video out. That was a good one. LaMelo was in my list. But it was interesting to see, man. It was interesting to see. But Cade could absolutely be in that conversation. And once he starts, again, he was in the playoffs this year and played well in the playoffs against a team who was in the Eastern Conference Finals. And so once that team starts to kind of get some momentum and continue to build the right pieces around Cade, that team's going to be a threat too. And I would not be at all surprised if they were right back where they were this year, next year. Gucci said, bro, Giannis been in the league for so long and bro, still don't got a jump shot. It's crazy if you ask me. I mean, in today's game, yeah, it is, but how dominant Giannis is in getting downhill and getting to the rim. I mean, he doesn't need a jump shot, right? I don't think he needs a jump shot. It
was interesting that we watched him all summer shooting middies, and it was all that talk of him improving, and then
he did the same thing.
Same exact Giannis. I mean, he was effective.
Yeah, I mean, he was. Who was he? Third in MVP voting? Like he was, but he's always in that top 3. Untamed said Sean Marion for Shaq ruined the Suns. That was really bad. That was really bad. I think that was one of the moves that really messed them up. Not paying Joe Johnson was also another move that really, really messed them up. So Yeah,
I
that one
was
hurt a
always
lot.
mad that we never kept Joe Johnson, man. Joe Johnson, Chauncey Billups, and Ron Mercer. I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Oh man. And he said, Untame also said, if I'm the Cavs, I'd trade Donnie and DG for LaMelo. And see,
LaMelo wants to go to the Clippers, man. I don't know how it'll happen, the way it'll happen. He's not
speaking
going
of
to make
which,
it to the Lakers, but he wants to go to the Clippers.
I'm glad you brought them up. I forgot to mention the other sneaky team that could be in the trade conversation for Kevin Durant is the Los Angeles Clippers. You put him around, with James Harden and Kawhi Leonard, and obviously you have the Clippers have trade pieces. They have Zubac, they have Norman Powell, they
I
have
just think
Derrick
that
Jones.
eliminates their depth.
Yeah, oh, it does. But I
It'd be
think
fun to watch.
it'd be fun to watch for sure. I don't know if
Gucci's crazy.
yeah, that'd be wild.
He shot first.
Hey,
He shot is crazy.
I don't know. Who would win a 3-point contest between Tyrese Halliburton and Sean Marion?
Tyrese would definitely win.
You think Sean Marion wasn't a bad 3-point shooter though?
He was definitely a bad 3-point
He
shooter.
wasn't that bad.
He had
he had a
about
few
2
good
good years.
He wasn't that bad. In Dallas, he wasn't that bad of a shooter.
That was later in his career.
Okay, I guess he was worse than I thought. He shot
bad.
33%. Yeah, that's pretty bad. But yeah, Hallie would win. It was Untamed said Sean Marion's jumper was pretty. Hey, they both. Hey, once you see Tyrese Halliburton's jump shot in slow motion, like you see, like he's holding the ball like this, but right when he shoots it, that's when he gets to the So it's a little different, but yeah. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And Tyrese Halliburton's jumper is definitely. It looks broke, but it ain't broke.
Some big time shots.
Yeah, man. But to close out this episode, the Indiana Pacers steal game 1 of the NBA Finals, 111-110 in Oklahoma City against the Thunder. Tyrese Halliburton, Halliburton hits the game-winning shot with about 0.3 seconds remaining on the clock. Get another game winner for Halliburton, something that we have seen a few times this playoff run for the Pacers. So that is going to close out this episode of Gumball Sports.
Hey, delete that, Untamed. Come on, man. Don't say that, dog.
Oh, damn. Oh, I didn't even. What's going on? Hey, Untamed, boy. Hey, I rock with Untamed, boy. Hey, he's a C's fan too, Tone. Oh yeah, he ain't biased. He keep it real.
He does, but he doesn't. Because you got to think, Tatum has had a lot of success in the playoffs. It's just been at the pinnacle, at the peak, to where Tatum has had some mediocre games. But Tatum has had some phenomenal games in the playoffs.
He's been good. It's the clutch gene. The clutch gene.
What? That man got so many game winners. It's crazy.
He do. But it's just funny. I'm glad.
Hallie playing a hell of a playoff though right now, boy.
PJ, where's the home? Oh, what? Back to Phoenix? Oh no. Get him out of here. No, we don't want
too
PJ.
old, man.
PJ.
And you already got what's his name? Ryan Dunn. Is that his name, right?
Ryan Dunn, yeah. Ryan Dunn.
Yeah, they got a young defender, man.
Hey, he said, "Tony, if we have 20, we could, but if it's tied, it's a wrap."
Dog, he hit the big game, the big 3 against the Knicks in the regular season. Like he had some big shots. He came winning against, I think, Minnesota. He had a couple big shots this year, but yeah, the whole team was thinking that we just shoot too many threes. Enough about the Celtics, man. We got a whole year to relax, man.
Oh yeah. Oh, whole yeah. It's gonna be a few.
Unless somehow we fleece Milwaukee for Giannis.
You must be out. You must be on some.
I keep
good
seeing
drugs.
it.
You must be on some good drugs if you think Milwaukee is trying to trade Giannis to Boston. You must be crazy, boy.
Listen, I've seen crazier things happen, man.
He said we got a whole last year to take.
I'm hoping
that's exactly what's going to happen too.
I swear, Jaylen Brown's going to have some crazy, weird injury right before All-Star break.
Nah, Jaylen Brown, I think he's gonna average close to 30 this year. I think he's gonna be next year. He's gonna be
Not
really good.
if we don't make a move, because if you know the Celtics always play smart. So
Yeah,
Jaylen
they
Brown
play
will have some mysterious injury. We will win 30 games, and the Celtics will get a good enough draft pick to add more value to when Tatum comes back.
Yeah, the Celtics do usually play chess and not checkers. He said, if I'm JP, I'm faking the season.
So February 16th.
The good news is the Celtics won't be competing for a championship. So they'll be in the same boat. So we'll be taking the same boat to Cancun. Me, the Celtics, and the Suns. We'll all be on the same boat next year. That is going to close out this episode of Gumball Sports Machine. Thank you all for watching. You all are amazing. Untamed, dog. You were here for the pregame show and for the after the game. Huge shout out to you, my boy. Gucci is here as always, dog. Gucci, my boy. So shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to everybody else who watched. Again, and shout out again, just one more quick shout out to Untamed and Gucci for just commenting and giving us a whole bunch of good feedback and things like that, man. So huge
real members,
huge
man.
Shout out to y'all. Hey, Untamed, appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you, man. That's it really means the world, you being here and watching us and as we grow. So appreciate the heck out of you, bro. That is going to close out tonight's show. I hope you all enjoyed. We will be back at the very least on Sunday after game 2. We'll be back. So
look out for us, man. We might go live on the GSM IG joint. We got the Vegas day this Saturday, man.
Vegas Day on Saturday, Deer Valley Park in Arizona. If you're free, pull up 6 p.m. If not, we will be going live on Instagram, Gumball Sports Machine on Instagram. Check it out. We posting our clips from here and everything like that.
Shout out to Bo Kyson for putting it together.
Man, huge shout out to Tone. I was telling you yesterday, I cannot give Kyson enough credit for what he's been able to do, man, and what he's putting together. This is, he deserves all the credit in the world for what he's doing. I don't. If I had 1,000 tongues, I wouldn't be able to say how much credit he deserves, man. Huge shout out to Kyson. So Saturday we'll be at Deer Valley Park, 6 p.m. Celebrating my brother Vegas, my brother Shawan. So we'll be out there 3-on-3 tournament. It'll be food, drinks, stuff like that. Great vibes. That is gonna close out this show. Appreciate everybody for watching. Tone,
like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe.
There you go. It's tradition on this show. Tone, as always, it's a great show. Great show. Obviously,
yeah. Shout out the host, man. Goobo.
Hey, man, this is we're growing every day, bro. We're growing every day, and so and it's not possible, especially without Tone. But as along with you guys who are watching, and D-Lo and Kev and Kyson and Sudi and the guys who come on here and spew their nasty stuff about the Suns that they like to say and the mean stuff about the Suns. But it's all good. It's okay. It's all right. No, that's going to close out the show. As always, if nobody else is going to tell you, I love you. I'm proud of you. You matter. You woke up this morning because you have a purpose. God ain't done with you just yet. So you wake up, you enjoy, and be grateful that you are still here on this earth. But like Tone is doing, we love you. We are proud of you, and you absolutely matter. We'll be back on Sunday. And as always, it is nice to be important. It is much more important to be nice. See y'all Sunday.